time once again for everybody to get aboard the Smackin' It Raw podcast train. I am your host, the Warden Matt Ritter, and he is not a nugget. He is our inmate, my co-host, the real heel, Eric Siekr. Say hi, Eric.
Hello, everybody.
And, if I can be serious for a moment, I would like to introduce the self-knighted Sir Cuss-a-Lot, Travis Pointer.
Hey, yo.
This is Smackin' It Raw podcast, episode 15, and we got a little bit of news, guys. We had 3 firings. Emma, who just was coming off a feud with Asuka, and then Darren Young and Summer Rae, who we haven't seen in months, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
What about that other breaking news?
About the match for Tuesday?
No, the news you just broke yesterday.
Oh, that's right, man. Survivor Series is canceled.
Survivor Series is canceled.
That is not the news I broke
The
yesterday.
entire locker room has crabs.
Okay. You said that. I didn't say
It's
that.
so crazy.
Matt broke this story yesterday, folks, and let us know that the entire Survivor Series pay-per-view has been canceled because the entire locker room has crabs.
All right, so let me explain. I sent a text to both Travis and Eric to find out if they want to do the podcast yesterday. Eric was a day behind and hadn't watched Raw yet, so we had to put it off till Thursday instead of our normal Wednesday recording. And I said that Survivor Series is canceled. What I meant by that was Survivor Series is canceled at my house, meaning the party that I was planning on having Eric attend may or may not be going on. Not that the actual pay-per-view itself was canceled. Travis was the one that said that the entire locker room has crabs.
So you have crabs then.
I do not have crabs.
That's crabs. Why did you bring it in?
Yeah, it's canceled because you have crabs, right?
No. It's canceled because I double booked that weekend. I thought Survivor Series
that's how you got crabs. I get you. That's how it happened. I understand. It's okay. It's okay.
I hate you guys so much. Which brings me to one thing I wanted to talk about. We're not going to talk about Baron Corbin on this podcast anymore.
I think we are.
No,
actually.
we're not. I'm nixing that from the podcast from now on. But anyway, we're talking news.
It's not possible.
Back to
Especially
the
after
news.
this week. Especially after this week. Got to talk about him this week.
Back to the news. The War Games match that is going to take place at NXT TakeOver is a triple threat 6-man tag team match inside the 2 rings, inside the 1 cage. You're going to have the Authors of Pain and their teammate, Roderick Strong, versus the 3-man team of Sanity, versus the 3-man team of the Undisputed Era, which are those guys that we saw at the last pay-per-view, because I'm sure that's the last time you two watched NXT. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, who have been making a big impact on NXT.
Impact.
Other than that, we also found out today that Shane McMahon made a match for Jinder Mahal to face off against AJ Styles next week on SmackDown for the WWE Championship. That brings me to one thing. What was that?
U.S. title, right?
No, for the WWE Championship, because that's Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, right.
AJ versus Jinder, yeah. We've been having a lot of title matches.
That the logical thing would be to take the belt off of Baron Corbin. So
we've had a lot of title matches. We had The Miz versus Matt Hardy.
And you will not ignore me, sir.
We have this match set up.
No, true.
Do you guys think we're going to get a title change before the pay-per-view, changing one of our matches?
No.
I doubt it. But if we do get one, it'll be the U.S. title.
What's interesting is you guys also predicted that Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon would be the captains for the SmackDown and Raw 5-man teams. And that happened on Monday Night Raw. Stephanie McMahon came out, told Kurt he's been doing a great job until recently, and to make up for it, he is the Raw captain, and Shane responded, making himself the captain. So as of right now, the Raw men's team is Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman. And the SmackDown men's team is Shane McMahon, Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura. We've got one more guy for SmackDown, and we need three more for Team Raw. Who do you guys think they're going to be?
I have a question first of all, though, before we even get into that.
Okay.
What are they going to do with the New Day?
Apparently, kick them in the back and make them lose because that's all that's happened the last 2 weeks.
The Halloween costumes were awesome, though.
Yeah, man.
Well, hold on. We're going to talk about that. So,
Akeem, the African Dream, sir.
yes, Akeem, Brother Love, and Jimmy Hart wore their costumes.
Right.
And last week, we saw Xavier Woods get kicked in the back by Shelton Benjamin and get pinned. And this week, we saw Rusev kick Big E in the back and pin Big E. So apparently, the New Day's big weakness is a shot to the back with a foot.
Yeah, you get kicked in the back, that's it. They get kicked in the back, or Mickey James gets punched by Alexa Bliss's fist. It's like
I'm gonna get to that too.
And that's enough to knock her out. It's just
Travis, we're jumping all around here. Let's move back. Who do you think are gonna fill the last three spots of Team Raw?
Clue.
Last three. There's 3 spots left. You said.
All you have is Kurt and Braun Strowman right now.
I'm gonna go with
Kevin Nash.
Diesel. Perfect.
Hulk Hogan.
Mordecai.
Yeah, why not? Mordecai.
Because he was coming back anyway.
He is. He'll be back. So he might as well come back now.
If I were to pick 3 guys, and I'm gonna preamble
That's all we're saying. We have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I got that. I'm gonna preamble this with saying I realize that there are issues between these guys, and I think that is going to lead to part of Team Raw's breakdown, and then Kurt Angle's eventual firing his GM so he can return to in-ring action. I'm gonna say Kane, Roman Reigns, who will be returning from the mumps probably before Survivor Series, and the last person being Samoa Joe, who just made his return on Monday Night Raw.
I'm with you on Samoa Joe. I have a feeling they're going to keep Roman Reigns off TV until after the pay-per-view.
Kane sounds right.
Kane does sound right also, because you got that Kane and Braun Strowman thing, but I do see Samoa Joe. As far as you saying, dissension, Team Raw loses, I actually think Team SmackDown is going to lose this match because I think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to get involved and fuck it up for them because they're not on the team.
That is a big possibility.
Ooh.
Since we're talking Team SmackDown, do you have any guesses as to who's going to fill that last spot for Team SmackDown?
The Rock.
Being that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are not in the match?
Vin Diesel.
Eric, what about you?
That's a good. I don't know. I couldn't even hazard a guess.
Well, here's the thing. AJ Styles is not in that match, and if AJ Styles does not beat Jinder Mahal, because according to you guys, there will be no title change, wouldn't it make sense to put AJ on that team?
It'll make a lot of AJ on that. Right.
Yeah, he is gonna be on there because he's the SmackDown guy. He's SmackDown through and through. He bleeds blue.
If Travis is right and Roman Reigns isn't going to be on that match, are they going to put Finn Balor on Team Raw?
There you go. You got some Finn Balor right there.
All right, so we're going to say Kane, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe for Team Raw, and AJ Styles is the last man for Team SmackDown.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep Roman off TV till after the pay-per-view because it's just easier that way for one, and two, I mean that's what I would do. Leave him away for a while, so when he comes back, people actually give a fuck. You bring him back right away, you're just like, oh, he's here, we still hate you. But bring him back later and have him help out the Shield or something, and it's like, oh, he's back and he's that thing. We like him again, you know?
It doesn't matter who they have help out the Shield. I mean, it could be Kurt Angle, it could be the Shield's mortal enemy, Triple H. I mean, they just shove anybody in there.
Fucking stupid. It does. That was fucking stupid. And luckily, they didn't do it on television. They just did it at a live event because whatever the fuck, who gives a shit? But like,
Dude, it was
why?
a terrible idea.
Like,
So
I
as we
saw
met,
like, pictures on Instagram too. Triple H was in the full, Shield riot gear and all that kind of shit. And like, that's fucking dumb.
yeah, that's that lack of short-term memory the WWE seems to have. We talked about Samoa
Like,
Joe. We talked
period.
about
Short term or long term.
yeah. We talked about Samoa Joe. We said that Stephanie came back. We also had Braun Strowman show up at the end of the night out of a garbage truck. So he's
That was
maybe
like
the garbage monster.
Yeah,
that was
different
so
garbage.
cool and so funny at the same
So
time.
like, did he like leave one garbage truck and then get into a different garbage truck? Because this was a different garbage truck.
Yeah, it was.
Or did he keep the same garbage truck and paint it red himself, and then come back with that garbage truck?
I like how all the garbage kind of poured out and poured out and poured out, and then they cut away, and then they cut back really poorly to him standing up like he came out of it, but he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know who's directing this shit, but it's just like, my 12-year-old niece could have done a better job of editing this. Like, what are you people thinking? Why would you do this?
It was really funny though. If that's what they were going for, it
Maybe they
succeeded.
were going for the funny. If they were going for the funny, I'll give them the funny.
Because
But
like it was still kind of badass, just because it's Strowman. But yeah, the way they cut it and everything was just hilarious.
Well,
He
like
came out of
all the
garbage.
doors
He's
were
like the
locked,
garbage man now.
how they couldn't
The
get
fucking
out and
garbage
everything was locked, and all of a sudden they could get out once he was standing there.
yeah. Braun Strowman showed up in like the 7th or 8th Miz segment of the night. Like the whole show was the Miz. It was Miz segment after Miz segment after Miz segment, including
throw in
the return of Bo Dallas and JoJo. So 2 of the 4 people that were part of the orgy that got viral meningitis and mumps are now back.
I call him JoJo. All right, I will not accept that.
Who?
You calling him JoJo?
Who?
You.
JoJo is Bray Wyatt's girlfriend, the ring announcer, who came back.
I thought you were talking about Samoa Joe. My bad.
No,
Go ahead.
no. Samoa Joe didn't have viral meningitis. Bo Dallas, JoJo the ring announcer, Bray Wyatt, and
I
Roman
swear I thought
Reigns,
he was talking about.
who were all part of that orgy that you brought up last week. Because you said we don't know what they were doing with each other's penises, so it was an orgy, it wasn't a gangbang.
That's what was happening. Yeah.
2 people came back healthy. We're still waiting on Bray and Roman. And apparently they said Nia Jax returned. I didn't realize she was gone.
Yeah, she was gone. Well, I noticed she was gone, but yeah. Because, Alexa didn't have a lackey, so I noticed.
And since we're talking,
that's good for her.
Since we're talking about Nia, she is the first member Alicia Fox picked to be part of the Raw women's team. So now we have Alicia and Nia. Do you guys have any other guesses as to who's going to be on that team? Because it looks like we've got a full SmackDown team. It looks like we've got Becky, Charlotte, Naomi, Tamina, and Carmella. That's going to be Team SmackDown. So Raw's really lagging behind with giving us who's going to be on the team.
Yeah, but I mean, who's left? Sasha.
Bayley didn't make the cut. She lost to Nia, so no Bayley.
Okay,
Possibly Asuka if she's not beating up jobbers.
So Sasha, Asuka,
Dana Brooke,
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss can't be in the match.
Match, my friend.
Oh, that's right.
She's
gonna do both of them. She's gonna do both of them. She's gonna win both of them.
No, she's not.
Not gonna happen. We're done. Alexa Bliss has her match. She's gonna lose to Natalia.
She's gonna punch everybody, and they're just gonna be knocked out, and she's
They're
gonna
like,
win.
Her fist is like the size of my thumb. Like,
hold on, I've got that in my notes. We will talk about that awful decision they made on Monday Night Raw. Mickie James is also an option for the Raw women's team. So Dana Brooke, Mickie James, Sasha.
5, right? That's it, right?
Yeah, that'd be 5.
Yeah.
Since Bayley doesn't seem like she's going to be in it since she lost. Another issue I had with Raw this week, I don't know how you guys felt about it. Way too many fucking pay-per-view recaps for being 2 weeks out from the pay-per-view. Like, it's 2 weeks after. I don't need to know and see your images from what happened at Survivor or TLC.
We saw the pay-per-view. We saw last week your recap. We got you. We got you.
This
Braun
episode was
Strowman pissed. I get it.
yeah, this episode was really just fucking filler. I mean, with all the Miz segments, with all the pay-per-view recaps, really took up most of the show, and you guys probably didn't see half of it because you guys were watching it on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yep, they cut all the fat.
Did you guys see all the awful trick or treat street fight?
No.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm glad I don't.
So they had a trick or treat street fight. I didn't even write down who the match was between. I don't even care who the match was between. Pretty much what this was is now that we're in the PG era and we're not exploiting women for their looks anymore, so we can't parade them out in short skirts and slutty costumes, we're gonna have men go out in costumes and beat each other up with pumpkins and other really stupid, cheesy Halloween gimmicks and toys, and it was bad. I actually think that yeah, go ahead.
When you say toys, what
Not
did
sex
these?
toys. Not sex toys.
So there was no fun in this match at all. Is
No,
what
there
you're
was no
saying?
fun in this match at all.
There was no giant orange dildo in this match at all.
No, somebody I think got a pumpkin smashed over their head, but it was really cheesy. It was really stupid.
It would have been saved if one of them was wielding a giant orange dildo.
You know
Yeah, I
what
feel like
else?
they've done that shit every year for a few years now. It sucks. They do a Christmas one too. Candy canes and
You know what else was really cheesy and
Incredible.
really
Remember?
stupid?
Do you remember the days when we get, a bra and panties match when the girls were in a costume?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that as I was watching this. Like, how far have we come? How
And
far
it's
have we fallen?
It's just like I get why you won't do it anymore, but I miss it.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Sonny
like
said,
just do one, every once in a while.
Sonny, who is a WWE Hall of Famer, said there should be two groups of women on the roster. There should be divas, and then there should be wrestlers. We should have a place for the women who want to dress up in slutty costumes and come out and do bra and panties matches, and then we should have a place for the women who actually want to get in the ring and throw down. It shouldn't have to be one or the other. We should have a variety, and I agree.
I get it, and they should all the ones that they do that with should be valets like we used to have. We don't have valets anymore either.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's we no longer have the Marlenas and like we said the Sunnies or the Sables. We don't have those anymore.
Nope.
And we don't have managers really at all though. Like we only have the Singh brothers and Paul Heyman.
Now there's
Yeah, I
Paul
feel like
Ellering down on NXT. Technically, you have Lana.
He doesn't count because I don't see him. So
Okay. Well, that's your choice. He still
yes,
exists.
that is my choice, and I will continue to make that choice.
Technically, we have Lana because they're not letting her wrestle. So she went from managing Rusev to managing Tamina.
Is she really managing Tamina, or is she just around sometimes during Tamina's matches?
No,
every
she
now
comes out for all of Tamina's matches with the goal of making Tamina ravishing.
and
I wish she was still with Rusev. That worked a lot better.
Another horrible, awful, stupid thing we had was Daniel Bryan and his really bad acting this week. It was
Speak
bad.
or all the time.
Huh?
His bad acting this week or his bad acting all the time?
All the time, which this is when everyone asks me, why do you hate Daniel Bryan? Why aren't you a Daniel Bryan? Like, he's not a good actor. He may be good in the ring. He may be entertaining. His acting is fucking horrible.
Here's the thing about him. Yeah, he's horrible with acting, but that's not what he is. He's a wrestler. So you put him in the ring, you let him put on a great match, and let him do shit in the ring. Don't just give him mic and let him talk,
But
or
to
let him
be
don't let him talk. Period. You let him just do gimmicky shit, and it's funny as hell, and he's great in the ring. That's what works for him.
to be a world heavyweight champion, extended, not just a one-time run or whatever, you've got to have personality. You've got to be able to get in the mic and cut a promo. You've got to be able to
So
do this shit.
by that logic, should Braun Strowman be a world champion?
Yeah. Braun Strowman cuts a better promo than Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns.
I think when Daniel
bet
Bryan
But
left
okay.
to his own devices, when he doesn't have to be too serious or something like that, he does fine with promos. Especially as a general manager, especially now that he doesn't give a fuck about anything anymore. He'll say whatever.
Back
He
in the
just seems like he
day,
doesn't care that much.
it was just like be all about himself, going yes, yes, yes. That was when Daniel Bryan was at his best because it was just him doing this weird, stupid, gimmicky shit for the sake of doing this weird, gimmicky shit because he was just so happy and pleased with himself. That was just so fucking funny and it was great.
Yeah.
With all the rumors that Daniel Bryan is going to retire, that he's going to get back in the ring, he wants to get back in the ring, so on and so forth. Do you guys think that the WWE is going to let him go and let him
Nope.
go wrestle somewhere else, or do you think that when his contract is up, they re-sign him and they let him get in the ring?
They're not going to let him get back in the ring. So I think what they'll do is like, all right, look, this is what we're going to pay you. And he's going to be like, okay, I can get paid this much and not have to risk myself. Or I can go risk myself somewhere else and get paid this much over here.
You are 100% completely wrong. He has made it very clear he's made enough money. He doesn't care about the money. All he cares about is getting in the ring and wrestling. He doesn't think he's at risk.
Says they don't care about the money until they get a paycheck.
CM Punk hasn't come back for the money yet. He didn't give two shits.
Well, yeah, he had a UFC contract on the table when he walked away.
And there are guys out there making as much money in the indies, working a lot more, but making as much money in the indies as they could theoretically make in the WWE right now. The indie scene is booming.
Again, missing my point of him risking himself versus not risking himself.
He wants to risk himself. All he wants to do is get back in the ring. It's not a matter of I'm going to take this money so I don't have to do it. His entire goal is to wrestle again.
He was cleared by everybody except the WWE's doctor.
What you got to understand, though, it's not just him. He has a wife, too, who's saying, keep your shit. Get your shit together. Like,
no, she's telling him, if this is what you want to do,
telling him to wrestle.
Go do it.
We'll see.
Okay.
I told you.
All this man wants to do is get back in the ring, and he's said it countless times. It kills him to be the manager or the GM of SmackDown and watch these guys do the one thing he wants to do that he is cleared medically to do that the WWE refuses to allow him to do.
I hear you. And like I said, I hear you. Just remember, I told you so.
Daniel Bryan was one of the victims of Kane, who went on a rampage this week. Tombstone Dean Ambrose, Tombstone Seth Rollins, Tombstone Finn Balor, and chokeslam Daniel Bryan and sent him to the hospital in the dark, so we didn't actually get to see what really happened to him. But
you do anything to him? Like I said, he's not doing shit. He still has a fucked up neck. But anyway, go ahead.
How do you guys feel about this Kane push?
You know, I'm all about Kane getting the shine he deserves, so I'm cool.
Yeah, like this is probably like his last year, so he deserves a good run.
Well, now
just get over Braun Strowman, and I'm cool.
With Braun Strowman coming back and focusing on the Miz, are they gonna move over to Kane, or are they gonna do something with Braun and the Miz? Like, I'm not sure where they're going with this.
They're gonna do something with Braun and the Miz. Kane's gonna interfere in the thing with Braun and the Miz, and that's gonna lead to the Braun and Kane match.
It doesn't make sense to me that Braun's going after the Miz when Kane's the one that attacked him. Kane's the one that dropped the chairs on him.
Well, you know, Kane wasn't readily available.
Yeah, put him in the fucking garbage too.
Yeah.
Kane was readily available when he showed up.
Kane literally said, if Braun Strowman wants to find me, he knows where I am. And then walked away.
People say a lot of things, Matt. Okay. Plus, I don't even remember seeing it. Was that on the Hulu version, Eric? Did you see that?
It was one of the 12 Miz segments.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'll go ahead and be perfectly candid with you. I was drunk when I was watching the Raw episode, and I may or may not have fallen asleep a couple of times while watching it.
I don't blame you on that. It wasn't great.
I was bored and drunk, so it was just all my favorite tequila, by the way. Let me just take a minute to talk to you all about Agavero tequila. It is the most amazing shit. Like, I readily spend $30 a bottle on this shit, and it's not a big bottle. And it's just, I can't buy any right now because rent's due. I had to pay rent. But best believe when I do have the money again, I'll get another bottle. It makes me so happy.
Are they our sponsor?
They sponsor me on a daily basis. That's how I get through life. All right.
We have no sponsors.
They're sponsoring us,
and
maybe they'll sponsor.
No sponsors yet, sir. Give me time.
We are going to get back to wrestling because that's what we're here to talk about.
wrestlers don't drink tequila? They
I'm
love
sure
tequila.
they do. I'm sure they do, but they're not
I
drinking
think
tequila.
I
That
think
They're
I
in.
think
probably
we should
led to the orgy that led to them all getting crabs and meningitis.
I think we should talk about whatever our sponsor wants us to talk about. I
We
mean,
don't
they're
have a
paying.
sponsor yet, so there is
You
no
don't know that.
sponsor.
You don't know
just
that.
said yet. You literally
I
just
could
said
have gotten
yet.
I could have gotten a sponsor in an email just now, and you have no idea.
It
Well,
just came through.
we'll plug them next week.
It's too late. Maybe they want us to plug them right now.
They
It
should
wasn't the contract.
they should have come in and said something earlier. Speaking of saying shit, Michael Cole is still supporting Elias Sampson, and it still makes no goddamn sense.
I
That-
don't see. Was I don't remember seeing him.
He had a match with Jason Jordan again, of course.
Oh, that wasn't on Hulu.
Okay, so I didn't miss that. Okay,
Yeah.
it just wasn't there. They didn't deem it important. It doesn't matter.
Jason Jordan smashed his guitar. Michael Cole went into an uproar after Jason Jordan smashed his guitar.
Did he throw vegetables at him?
No, he did not throw vegetables at him.
Dude, what if Kurt puts him on Team Raw?
You think he's going to be one of the 5 members of Team Raw?
Listen,
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
interesting.
something with this
choice.
whole Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's kid thing. Put him on Team Raw. Do something with this motherfucker. Like,
Yep. Yeah, I bet that
do
happens.
something with this, Matt. I refuse to believe that this is the end.
All right, well, we will see what happens.
Let's see. I need to see something. Listen, Vince. Look at me, Vince. Look at. I know you can't see me, but look at me anyway. Do something with Jason Jordan, please. I'm asking nicely. Please.
Do something better with Jason Jordan, I think is what you want.
No, he's not doing anything with Jason Jordan right now. Whatever he's doing right now is nothing. He's not doing anything. They didn't even put it on the Hulu version, so it's not even good enough.
Okay. This was Halloween.
All the unnecessary shit, he got trimmed away. So clearly, whatever they're doing with him is unnecessary.
This was Halloween, and Alexa Bliss dressed up as Chucky before she came out to have her match. And as we talked about, for whatever reason, they thought it was a great idea to end the match with Alexa Bliss KO punching Mickey for the win.
Because apparently she has a WMD like the Big Show.
It was the dumbest fucking way they could have ended that match.
I mean, that's just a believable way to end the match.
No, it is an unbelievable way.
Like
the
like
smallest fist and the smallest girl on the roster punches out Mickey James with one blow.
She's tough, man. She's
maybe
tough.
she's like, William Regal and she has the power of the punch, which
yeah.
be brass knuckles, but
So there's something interesting there that I wanted to talk about, and it ties into that what we talked about with Rusev. I'm sure you guys have noticed it. There are no more finishers in the WWE. There are no moves that just finish the match. Between them kicking out of these moves, everything is now just a signature move. The RKO is a signature move. The AA is a signature move. The F5 is a signature move. We have done away with finishers.
And people kick out of this shit all the time now.
Exactly. That's why it's a signature, not a finisher. Because it doesn't finish the match.
I hate this.
Yeah, they do it way too much.
But instead of using a signature move to win the match, Alexa Bliss stumbles her fist into Mickey James' face and gets a pinfall.
Well, yeah. It was a good hit.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a good.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't a good.
It was perfectly executed.
It was not. She just she's moving. Oh, I kind of moved my arm like this, and yeah.
You know what?
No,
I
she
just
clocked it. She clocked her. I heard Mickey James had to have her jaw wired shut.
Travis,
Like in real life.
Head, the voices in your head told
I
you
was
that.
gonna say, was that another text from Travis? Did Travis text you that?
That's another reason why.
Oh, that was on Mordecai's
that's another
website,
reason
right?
why Survivor Series is canceled. Alexa Bliss, she broke Mickey James's jaw. She punched a couple other people backstage that night
And
too.
gave all crabs.
Was this on Mordecai's website? Is this where you're getting your reliable news?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Mordecai's got a really good blog. It really opened my eyes.
Let us know what's really going on. Him and Kevin Thorne are letting us all know what's really happening behind the scenes.
They take turns writing articles on the blog. Kevin Thorne will do one, and Mordecai will do one.
The last bit we need to talk about for Monday Night Raw is
Makes it even funnier is the fact that Matt had so much hope for Kevin Thorne / Mordecai. He just won't ever get what he thought he would get from them.
There's a lot of wrestlers I had hope for that I'm never going to get what I thought I would get out of them. I got lucky that Bray Wyatt won one World Heavyweight Championship.
Dude, Matt, if you feel like you missed out on that, just go to Mordecai's website. There's tons of Mordecai fan fiction.
I wrote all that fan fiction, by the way.
Oh man, Mordecai fan fiction.
The last thing we need to talk about from Raw.
Braun Strowman's gonna let you down too, by the way.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I realized that when he started not squashing guys like Matt Hardy in matches. That was done
when
over with.
he decided to curl up back up into a garbage can
Yeah.
or a garbage
Yeah,
or a
no.
dumpster and crawl out of it.
Yeah, no, I realized that. Doesn't make me like him any less. Anyway,
What you
Raw
drinking, Derek?
25. The 25th anniversary
Water?
of Monday Night Raw is
It's
going
in like January, dude. Like, why are they
Yes.
talking about it now?
because it is monumental in the fact that they're going to be coming live from both the Barclays Center and the Manhattan Center simultaneously. And Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Kevin Nash are making confirmed appearances on Monday Night Raw.
It's not confirmed. He is rumored.
It's not what I read on WWE.com.
They said on Raw and SmackDown that he is rumored.
Which means he's confirmed. WWE.com.
Not mean confirmed.
WWE.com said Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Kevin Nash will be on the 25th anniversary of Raw.
I tell you, who else is gonna
I
be
need
there?
Seats and confirmation, sir, because on Raw they said rumored, which means that come January 3rd, Undertaker can be like, you know what? Fuck you, I'm not coming.
Well, on Monday Night Raw, they also said Elias Sampson is a great musician.
You left one person out.
No, I didn't.
25th anniversary.
Who'd you leave out?
Travis, let me ask you something. Do you remember when
Mordecai.
Who'd you leave out, Eric?
Mordecai.
El Dandy's going to be there as well?
He was actually a SmackDown superstar, by the way. But anyway,
Do you remember when WWF New York existed and we would get broadcasts from WWF New York for hardcore matches during Monday Night Raw?
I certainly do, sir.
Is that not the same thing as this monumental, we're coming from the Manhattan Center and the Barclays Center? Isn't it the same fucking deal?
I like when they do that.
Kinda.
Because they're acting like this is the first time it's ever been done, which we know the WWE loves to do. Like,
Well,
first
are
time
they
ever.
are they wrestling in both locations though?
Whether they're wrestling in both locations or not, we had hardcore matches at WWF New York. That is wrestling.
Yeah, but that was
That is
a
wrestling.
special kind of match. That was a special kind of match that extended to there though. That's different. than them
Or
having
started there. There were matches
Well-
that started there.
Yeah, but they don't have the full wrestling event coming from both locations. I see what they're saying. I see what you mean, but I know what they're getting at.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on to SmackDown. First thing, what are you guys' thoughts on the Stranger Earth Things fashion files?
I thought it was
It was-
mildly amusing.
I'm about to say it's more of what we usually get from the fashion files. It's just every now and then I go,
So
But-
you guys don't think it's been going downhill like I have? I mean, I think this week was a little better than last week, but
it's about what we always get from it. Just a break, and we just kind of go.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it's all.
I can't hate on that.
Yeah, that's what it's always been to me. I've never been like, "Ha, that's so knocked down, funny." I'm rolling on the floor, holding my sides. It's never
Yeah.
been that to me anyway. So it's always just.
Yeah, it's a nice breather segment,
so we talked
fun.
about. Oh, go ahead, Eric. What?
It's fun. They're gonna do a Jigsaw next week.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. I'm concerned.
That's right up your alley, Matt.
Yeah, I'm concerned about how they're gonna fuck that up.
You love the Jigsaw.
What?
Have you seen Jigsaw yet?
I am going on Sunday or Saturday.
Okay.
That is the
I have
plan.
I have no plans to see it, but
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go on Saturday. We were gonna go last weekend, but with some family stuff that came up with Kate and our Halloween party, we just didn't have the time to make it out. So we're going Saturday.
I'll catch it, somehow streaming. I'll give them, $3 once it's on Amazon or some shit.
There you go. We had a 2 out of 3 falls match between Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Roode won. And Dolph Ziggler says that he doesn't know what he's going to do from here on out. We don't know what Ziggler's future is.
I'm just glad that we won't get any more Bobby Roode Dolph Ziggler matches.
Yeah. I still can't believe they put Bobby Roode on the team. It's weird. Should have been Ziggler.
Listen. He is glorious, all right?
It's too soon.
He won't give in. He won't give in until he's victorious.
His entrance is glorious, but as you said last week, his in-ring work is not since he's been in the WWE.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I'm with you. I just wanted to say that line.
Whereas some of the best stuff we've seen at Survivor Series came from Dolph Ziggler, the year Sting debuted and helped save his ass and helped defeat the Authority.
Yeah.
Again, I
It
hear
was
you.
huge. He would have been great if he didn't have that record scratch happen when they start to play his music now. It's the dumbest fucking thing. It makes me hate him.
Well, that's kind of the idea. That's kind of
like what do they have everybody's theme music on vinyl back there?
It's awful.
No, just his. Just his. Just his. He said, "Look, put my theme music on vinyl for this very purpose." And that was the end of it.
How did you guys feel about, or how do you feel about, I highly doubt you hate it, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable and the personality that they've been showing as of late?
Oh, I was right. I hated it.
You hated it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you just hate the Chad Gable part, or did you hate all of it?
All of it. I hated it all. It was stupid.
Why was it stupid? Give me a little more.
You talking about that segment with them backstage with the Usos, right?
Well, that's the only segment they had, so yeah, that'd be it.
I'm making sure that was what you were talking about. You need me to clarify why that was stupid?
Yes.
Okay, sir. We grew up during the same time, right? We're pretty much the exact same age.
Yeah, you're a few months ahead of me.
Few months. Which makes me the older, wiser of the two of us. I get you. So we both know what actual rap sounds like, right?
Yeah, I listened to a lot of it with you, mostly DMX.
Yeah, DMX and Eminem, Snoop, Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know all that shit that I love.
Speaking of which, Bone Thugs and Harmony did a new song with the lead singer of Korn that came out this year.
I haven't heard that. I'll make sure I listen to that. Busy Bo's son had a song that came out like maybe a year ago or so that was like real hot. But as I listened to Chad Gable doing what he was doing and Shelton Benjamin talking as little as possible, which is what he should be doing, I'm just like, shut the fuck up and just get in the ring. Like, both of you need to stop talking. Both of you. And they won't. And that's the problem. Shelton Benjamin, I've said several times, is one of the most gifted athletes I've ever seen. One of the best in the ring that I've ever seen. But he can't talk, all right? And he should never talk. Give him a manager and put him in the ring. That's all you need to do with him. Putting him with Chad Gable in this tag team thing is a waste of everybody's time because it's not going to work out. What, Matt?
I was waving at Eric. He looked lost again.
Well, he's always lost. I'm ignoring him right now.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Did you like the Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin backstage segments that we got the last couple weeks?
No, not really. Like the one this week was super cheesy. It was weird. I agree. I agree with Travis. They shouldn't fucking talk. They should have a manager or a valet.
I can see that. I'll agree with that.
They need a manager. Let me be their manager.
Teddy
Call
Long.
me,
Bring
let
back
me
Teddy Long.
bring back Teddy Long. Yes, I'm all for that.
That'd be great. He'd be a great manager for him.
Listen, when I say nothing would make me happier than them bringing back Teddy Long to be his manager, who gives a shit about Chad Gable? Fuck that. Let him be Shelton Benjamin's manager.
That would be awesome.
I would be so happy.
That's just some good sports
You know what
entertainment right there.
disappoints me
Hmm.
is they had that whole thing when SmackDown invaded Raw where Chad Gable went and jumped Jason Jordan and gotten Jason Jordan's ass backstage. And they're not going to do jack shit with that. They're not going to do anything with the broken tag team. They're not going to do anything with the fact that Chad Gable jumped him in the locker room. You want Kurt Angle to do something? Have him help his son get some comeuppance on his former tag team partner who jumped him in the locker room. Give him a tag team partner, and let's have Gable and Benjamin versus Jordan and a tag team partner
Well,
at the pay-per-view.
maybe we
Pre-show
don't know
match.
what's happening on the pre-show.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we'll get, if they don't do the smart thing and put Jason Jordan in that match, they do a Jason Jordan versus Chad Gable match on the pre-show.
Or bring back
They-
Charlie Haas.
They won't do that, but maybe. Did you say bring back Charlie Haas?
Charlie Haas
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jason
Charlie
Jordan
Haas
versus
and Jason
Chad
Jordan.
Gable and Shelton motherfucking Benjamin.
Listen. When I tell you, few things would make me happier. One half of the world's greatest tag team plus one half of American Alpha. That's what they would call it, right? American
Yep,
Alpha.
that's correct.
Yeah. Versus the other half of the world's greatest tag team and the other half of American Alpha. That would be wonderful. And they bring back Jackie Gator to, escort Charlie Haas's. Are they still together? Are they still a thing? Did they break
I have
up?
no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Neither do I, because they don't matter. But the thing is, in this situation, they would matter, especially since everybody's got the fucking crab, so it doesn't even matter. Like, just bring back anybody.
You know, I was just thinking about this a little while ago, and then I lost it, and now it came back to me. Eric, you said the reason that we couldn't do the podcast last night was because you hadn't watched Raw yet, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's a lie. Because you know what debuted last night, Travis?
What debuted last night?
Total Divas starring Alexa Bliss.
Were you busy watching Total Divas last night?
I wouldn't have been able to watch it because it's on cable television and I don't even have television.
Well, that's the thing. You probably waited till the episode was over, and it would have ended at 10 o'clock, and then you needed to download and then watch it, which is why you couldn't do the podcast.
No, nothing like that.
That sounds excessive, Matt.
Nothing like that.
I don't see Eric putting forth that much effort on anything. So
I don't know. He fights pretty hard to fucking legitimize that punch from Alexa Bliss.
It was a
I feel
real
like
punch.
that's such convenience, though. Like, he's already here, so he's just doing that now.
Yeah, that's true enough. But no, I legitimately canceled it because I hadn't seen Raw.
Okay. Have you guys noticed that, and not just, I mean, mostly in the men's match,
Mostly.
but that SmackDown really does have just a weak roster.
Do they have a roster? I see like 4 dudes.
Well, I just mean the entire roster in general. Overall, compared to Raw and what Raw has, SmackDown is the weaker roster.
When I have like 4 dudes, I mean they literally have like 4 dudes because the Usos count as 1, the New Day counts as 1, then they have AJ Styles and they have Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Who else do they have?
Randy Orton.
Who else do they have?
Yeah, that's pretty Shinsuke Nakamura,
Who else?
Like I said, who else do they have?
the WWE champion Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, he
But
definitely.
who else?
Who else do they have? they have 4
Other than
people.
that.
Like, they have
John-
4 dudes. Like,
Technically, they kind of have John Cena because he's a free agent.
that dude
Yeah.
hasn't been on anything for like the last 800 years, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, who else?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. They got Shane.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like another.
What I'm saying is, like you said, they have the weaker roster. I'm saying they don't actually have a roster. Like,
And that's the crazy thing is Kurt Angle has so many guys to choose from to put on his team, and there's like nobody to choose from to put on SmackDown. Why is all of the talent going to Raw?
that's the flagship show.
Which is what the Survivor Series is supposed to be about, which is why SmackDown wants to win. To prove that they are the better show, to get the notoriety, to get the picks, to get the people, to get whatever they need. And you guys don't think it's going to happen.
No, like I said, I think that KO and Sami Zayn are gonna do something to cause SmackDown to win because there's some kind of thing in Shane's clause in his return that he just doesn't get to win matches.
I think SmackDown will actually win.
No, I think Shane will lose because for some reason, anytime that Shane gets in the ring, he loses. So
This will be his one win.
yeah, see, I don't see that happening. He doesn't get wins.
Do you guys think that Natalya and Charlotte will swap titles prior to the pay per view?
Charlotte's on SmackDown.
Charlotte's on SmackDown. Do you think she'll beat Natalya and go on to face
No.
Alexa Bliss at the pay per view? Well, of course you don't, because you don't want to see Charlotte come and fuck up Alexa Bliss. You want none of that shit.
See, here's the thing. I think it'll be so much sweeter to have Alexa Bliss lose to Natalya. Like,
No, I agree with you on that.
Impossible.
I agree with you on that. I'm just saying, Eric doesn't want Charlotte to take that title because he doesn't want that match. For you and I to come on the podcast and talk to Eric about how Natalya beat Alexa Bliss, so much sweeter. So much sweeter.
I wouldn't even come on the podcast.
Oh,
so
you
like that's
no-show?
right up there. Not quite as good, but it's right up there with Baron Corbin finally getting the win over Sin Cara. You know, it had to be by DQ, but he finally got a win over Sin
No.
Cara.
You are not going to do that because Baron Corbin lost by DQ last week for beating the shit out of Sin Cara, and all you talked about was how it was still an L in the books. It was still a loss. It didn't matter what happened.
Yeah,
So regardless,
right.
it doesn't
You're
matter
right. I said,
how
Baron
he got
Corbin,
the W.
That's what I said. Baron Corbin finally got a win over Sin Cara. Is that not what I led with?
It
Did I
is.
not say that first?
But I'm saying you are not going to add the even though it was by DQ because that was not a factor last week. That will not be a factor this week. A W is a W. That is what you said.
Okay, Baron Corbin finally got a win over Sin Cara after losing to him twice in a row. Okay,
That's better.
you happy with that win?
I
You
am.
Happy with that win?
I'm so glad Baron Corbin's not on the SmackDown team.
He is on the SmackDown team. He is fighting for SmackDown against The Miz.
Where he will lose.
No. I mean in the Survivor Series.
He doesn't win.
Well, to be honest with you, I'd rather have him over Shinsuke or fucking Bobby Roode in that match.
How could you rather have him? That doesn't even make any sense. He's a bump.
Here's the thing. Shinsuke and Bobby Roode. The thing is, Shinsuke and who are we talking about? Shinsuke and Bobby Roode. Yeah. They actually win matches, unlike Baron Corbin. So yeah, I'd rather have them on the team. I want winners on the
squad. When was the last time Shinsuke Nakamura won a match?
Last night, or 2 nights ago.
And so did Baron Corbin. When was the last time before that Shinsuke won a match? Because he lost to Jinder twice. He lost that tag team match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Corbin barely skated by in that match, though.
Shinsuke didn't lose to Sin Cara 2 weeks in a row, though.
Yeah.
Shinsuke hasn't fought Sin Cara, period.
He would demolish him.
He didn't lose to him, though, did he? Did he lose to Sin Cara 2 weeks in a row? That's all I said.
My point is, when you've got guys like Braun Strowman and possibly Kane on the other team, I'd much rather have a guy the size of Baron Corbin and the power of Baron Corbin in that ring against those guys versus a guy like Bobby Roode or a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura. I think
he's a bum, Matt. He's a bum.
You're a bum, Eric.
Like, you can keep trying to blow this Baron Corbin horn all you want to, all right? Fact of the matter is, he still tried to cash in his Money in the Bank contract and lost. All right.
Yeah, he did.
That's-
He's
I
not the
think
only
that's-
person, but yeah, he did.
yeah. Well, the other person is like John Cena and who else? Like,
Damian Sandow.
Exactly. Where the fuck is he? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, dude. It was one
And-
of the more embarrassing things I've ever seen. Dude, you
Yeah.
should have seen Mordecai talk about it in his
But
blog.
see,
He
here's
really...
the thing. Here's the
Yo,
thing about it.
Mordecai went in on him on his blog, man.
You
On
guys
Mordecai's
say
website. Listen,
Dude,
Mordecai did it, and then Kevin Thorne came back and got him too. It was woo.
all right.
it
So
was brutal.
just a
It was
reminder for
brutal.
the fans out there: Mordecai does not exist. There is no Mordecai website. Please don't go look that up. And secondly, you give me shit saying that I am blowing the horn for fucking Baron Corbin when really you guys just keep giving me shit about Baron Corbin week after week, and it is my job as a fan of Baron Corbin to defend him. That's
You keep
all I'm
bringing
doing.
it. You keep
It's-
bringing him up.
Because I'm the host and I have to talk about what the fuck happened on the show.
I thought you said we weren't talking about Baron Corbin on this podcast anymore, Matt.
We weren't, and you keep bringing it the fuck up. I tried to cut you off. I tried not to talk about it. You kept bringing it up, so here we are. This is what we're doing.
You brought it up. You mentioned it.
You
Yeah.
both brought it up. Separate
You were not-
times.
Listen, you are not gonna blame Baron Corbin and his inadequacies on us. All right.
No, you know how you brought it up, Travis? We were talking about Charlotte and Natalia, and your segue into this whole conversation was it's better than losing to Sin Cara 2 weeks in a row. Losing to Natalia and giving Eric shit about that is almost as good as giving me shit about losing to Baron Corbin. You brought it up. Fuck you. It was not me. Fuck you. We're moving on. Do you guys have anything to talk about from this episode of Raw or SmackDown?
Nope. I've said my piece.
Beautiful. Eric, anything that I forgot that you want to bring up that you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Who is winning on Raw?
Kane.
I agree.
Yeah, Kane. Definitely.
When was the last time we saw the Big Red Machine come out and literally
Kane.
decimate everyone on the roster and tombstone 3 former champions, 3 heavyweight champions in one night?
Does the spike tombstone between him and the Undertaker count?
No, because it was one person 3 times, not 3 people once.
Oh well, then hell, I have no idea.
It's been a long time, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who is losing on on Raw?
Fucking Mickey James is apparently a fist from Alexa Bliss.
I'm really surprised Eric didn't pick Alexa to win this week after winning with that fucking punch.
Oh yeah, I changed my vote.
Too
Changed my
late.
vote actually.
Too late
Nope,
for that.
Too late.
Entirely
No,
too.
it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Not
It's
too
too late.
late.
It's
not.
entirely too late. You
Nah.
already Kane. It's too late.
And Travis and I had a meeting, and we agreed that not only is it a majority rule vote, so only 2 people have to agree, not the third person. We're not going to let you flip flop anymore. So
When have I ever flip flopped?
all the fucking time, every paper.
When?
Listen,
When?
You're
I
not
did not.
flip-flop. You just tried to flip flop just now. But anyway, that's irrelevant.
I tried
because
to do that one time.
we
One
already
time.
outvoted you anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
All right,
Yeah.
so Eric, who is losing on Raw?
Oh, the Miz. He got beat up by a garbage man.
I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan because he got carted out to the hospital after his really bad acting.
Oh, that's true.
This is true. This is true.
And he's the only one that got sent to the hospital. Mickey James apparently had her jaw fucking wired shut, according to
Yeah.
Mordecai's website. And
Yeah,
Eric. You guys should
Mordecai's
really
got the scoop, man.
You guys really need to start a website for Mordecai now. Like, you need to get together and you guys just need to pretend to be Mordecai and post all this shit on this fake Mordecai website. Travis, you can be Mordecai. Let Eric be Kevin Thorne. You guys will post as separate entities, and create a web page with just a shit ton of fake news.
Dude, it's real, and he's got interesting articles.
It's
Some of them aren't even
happening,
about
right?
wrestling. Some of them aren't even about wrestling.
It
Are
is
they about
real.
clouds, Eric?
EvanMordecaiThorn.com. All right.
Are they about clouds, Eric?
No,
All right, who's
he's
winning
got
on
he's
SmackDown?
Sin Cara. Oh, but for real, let me think. Who's winning on SmackDown? I'll say Shane's winning because everything's still coming up Shane right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree with that, even though I'm not too excited about the team he's taken into Survivor Series compared to Kurt's team.
Well, you don't know what team's taking into Survivor Series. All you know about is Randy Orton.
No, we know Randy Orton, we know Bobby Roode, we know Shinsuke Nakamura, and we know
That's
Shane.
right. I got that quick. They're that forgettable. Damn. Okay. Never mind.
I'm gonna go with the New Day because they have the best costumes.
Aha.
I don't know. I think Alexa had the best costume, but I'm partial to horror movies, so that Chucky, I enjoyed
Well,
that.
they weren't, but her costume wasn't on SmackDown. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about SmackDown.
Okay, so best costumes on SmackDown. I think they're the only ones that dressed up on SmackDown. For
I
me,
think still winning.
I'm gonna say Becky Lynch is winning on SmackDown. For those of you who couldn't tell, that is Travis blowing up and then releasing air slowly out of a balloon. He does this every week. He doesn't always make the balloon make noise, though. He will sit here while I'm talking and just repeatedly blow balloons up and then let them go and let the air out of them, trying to distract me while I'm talking. Who is losing on SmackDown, Travis? Well, you got a mouthful of balloon.
Baron Corbin.
Eric, do you agree with that?
um, yeah. Well, I think I agree with Travis on this one. Baron Corbin lost this week. I mean, I think he won against Sin Cara maybe, but it looked like a loss. It felt like a loss.
I'm gonna say Dolph Ziggler's losing. He lost that 2 out of 3 falls match. His feud with Bobby Roode is thankfully over, and his future with the WWE is questionable at best. Close second is
Yeah.
Big E losing to Rusev, who is the guy that everybody beats when they need to make a comeback by a kick to the back. Poor Big E.
Yeah, but they'll be tag champs again soon. No worries.
Yep. Well, guys, that is all for this episode. Travis, do your spiel.
Okay. Here's the thing, folks. First of all, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Creation Magazine. Also, find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation Magazine. We also have another couple podcasts that we have coming out. Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow will be available Saturday if you're fans of the Arrowverse. There's also Creation Conversation that will be available sometime next week. I'm not sure exactly, probably like Tuesday or some shit. Follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cusslott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT.
Speaking of Super Flashy Arrow, I listened to it last week like I do every week. And Mara said you and I did a great job, and she clearly didn't listen to the podcast at all.
It's entirely possible.
Because she was asking you all the same questions that you and I talked about on that podcast. And I was like, I appreciate you saying we did a good job, even though you didn't listen to a goddamn word we said.
She just knows. She just knows it.
Listen, she knows if I was on the podcast, it was a great podcast. That's kind of how it works.
Eric, where can they find you? On the interwebs?
On on Facebook, first of all.
Why are you so awkward?
On the on the page that we have there. Smackin' It Raw.
Do this every week, Eric. Why is this so difficult for you?
Facebook.com/Smackin' It Raw. You can reach Travis, me, and
Yeah.
Eric. You can find Eric. He's still Eric Siekr, but if you know what Eric looks like, you won't be able to tell because he is currently in the process of stealing the identity of our friend Drew Letco.
Probably one of the funniest things I've seen.
Now, I want to tell
Yeah.
you, this was something that hatched from our Halloween party that I actually gave Eric the idea for.
I don't remember it
You
going
go
that
to the
way.
Halloween party as Drew. Is that what's going on?
No,
No.
you
Drew
and Drew
went
were
as a
talking
shoe.
about how you have been stealing his posts and using them as your own. And I
Yeah.
said, you should steal his profile picture and change your name. And then you stole his profile picture, but don't want to change your name because you're stuck with it for 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
That's how
Maybe
that conversation went.
maybe it did. Maybe that's the way it
Yeah,
happened. But that's not the way I remember it. It
How
was
do you remember it?
100%. I said it. I said it. I said the whole thing. You were
Okay, that's enough.
you weren't even saying anything, Matt. You were
Eric,
just standing
Eric,
there,
Eric, end it.
completely
That's enough.
silent.
We're done. We're done.
Oh, yeah,
Matt, end
okay.
this shit.
All right. That is it for us. Say your goodbyes.
Goodbye.
Later.
We are the Smackin' It Raw podcast, and we are that damn